students can taking part in this class, and so time for yours, Mr. Abdul Rahim Ridwan. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. Yes.
thank you very much, Professor. Assalamualaikum wabarakatuh and very good days. Salam satu Malaysia. Okay. Uh, First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude to the inviters of these programs. I cannot recall her names because she's actually dealing with me from WhatsApp. Thank you for inviting me to be one of your guest lecturing. So I am Dr. Ibrahim Rizwan from UC Terjun Bahru, Malaysia. I've been teaching for about 15 years, and my area of specialization is international economics. So today, I've been given a chance to share with you a bit of my knowledge based on the topics of perfect computations. I have prepared the slides, and I hope that everyone's can listen, can try to understand my explanations. And I also welcome all of you to interrupt me anytime if you didn't get any part of my explanations. This is very important because you need to really understand each part of this lesson that we're going to have today, because it is interrelated, okay, from one part to another parts. Because after this lesson, you're also going to learn about the perfect computation, but based on the long run. But I'm not covering that. I will only covering the short run for today's. So allow me to share my slides. Actually, I just prepared my slides yesterday. I tried to update with certain image and so on, but because it is in the PDF file, for some reason it takes a long time to upload the new image. So I will open a separate file to give all of you these new versions or new updated versions of my slides. Okay, so basically perfect computations is actually one of the types of market structures. I think if since that you are going to learn these topics for information, okay, perfect computation is actually one types of market structures that available in the markets. And of course, beside perfect computation, we also have other types of market structure. For example, monopoly, okay, and then we also have monopolistic competition, oligopoly. So perfect competition is actually the introductory of this chapter, which is market structures, and it is slightly much more easier in terms of understanding their calculation, their characteristics, their diagrams, okay, as compared to other types of market structure, which is a bit more complicated and a bit more sophisticated. But again, it will be easier if you put your interest on learning this subject, on learning on these topics, especially on the market structure itself. Okay, so I actually there's an image here, but I will show you later on after I explain to you about the market structures, the perfect competition's characteristics, and then I will open a new image which is actually supposed to be shown here, but I cannot upload the image because it's in the PDF file. Yeah, I try to find the PowerPoint slide because because for information, yeah, actually there is a more updated slides that I have been used in my previous class, but I don't know where I keep it. So I'm using quite the past 2 years slide, but then it's okay. Still can be used for our lesson today. Okay, so now let us first define, okay, what is perfect computation, and of course we also need to know the characteristics of perfect competitive markets. So based on the definitions, okay, a perfect competition is a market in which there are many buyers, okay, banyak pembeli and sellers dan juga penjual. The products are homogeneous. Okay, so the product cannot be different, okay, from one and another. It's almost similar, almost same in terms of how it appears, the appearances and so on. So that is what we means homogeneous. Sama sahaja, tak nampak bedanya. Okay, and sellers can easily enter and exist from the markets. So this is actually another part of characteristics of perfect competitions, where the sellers, you have to understand this, can easily enter and exist from the market, which means that for these types of market, you can enter anytime if you found out that the product is profitable. But once you feel that the product is no longer profitable to you, you can quit from joining the market easily. There's no much barriers for you to enter and exist. So basically, the definition here is based on the characteristics of the perfect competition itself. Okay. Jadi dalam bahasa Melayu pun saya tak tahulah apa perkataan perfect competition. I've been learning economics since high school. So in some terms I didn't know the terms in bahasa. But for your understandings, this is actually the main characteristics of perfect competition that we define under the meanings of perfect competition itself. So many buyers and sellers, the product are homogeneous, and the sellers can easily enter and exit from the markets. Okay, now let's look in more specific in terms of the characteristics of perfect competitions. So let's look the first point, large numbers of buyers and sellers. Okay, so kenapa in these types of market structure there are huge numbers of buyers and sellers? Because number one, okay, for your understanding, these types of business is easily for you to join. Okay, maybe because they need a very little amounts of capital to begin with, or perhaps mungkin disebabkan, okay, these types you can sell okay, maybe another reason is because the product is easily available for you to sell. Okay, that's one of two reasons why there is a huge numbers of buyers and sellers, and due to that the firms are price taker. Okay, which means that because there are so many numbers of sellers available that sell these types of homogeneous products, so eventually the price of the product is determined by the markets, where the price is determined by the markets, which means that the firms have to follow the price set by the market equilibriums. Okay, by the market itself. They cannot set the price by their own. So this is what we mean as price taker. The price is set by the market equilibriums. Okay, by the forces of demand and supply. Okay, so bila permintaan tu tinggi dan dengan pengeluaran sebegini akan menentukan price kan. So kita belajar di situ price equilibrium. So price equilibrium itulah yang akan menjadi harga kepada barang-barangan yang dijual oleh seller-seller dalam perfect competitions. Okay. So before that, kita nak faham lebih lanjut lah apa jenis kategori perfect competition ni. Sebelum saya lanjut kepada the characteristics of perfect competitions, I'm sorry I'm using dua bahasa supaya memudahkan proses pembelajaran dan pengajaran. Okay. Let me share you. This is if you can see this image, can you see it? Where I shown you agriculture products like tomato. Do you see this this new image in your screen? Maybe you can answer me. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, you can see it. Good. So this is an examples of perfect competition types of business. Okay. The best example that you can give is agricultural product. Okay, the best example that you can give under perfect competition is agricultural product. For example, tomatoes. Okay, tomatoes. All tomatoes look same, and majorities of tomato also have the same color, which is the red one that the seller usually sell in the market. Okay, so agriculture product like this, they are homogeneous. We cannot differentiate much because it is almost the same. So that's why I'm saying that majorities of the agriculture product is fall under perfect competition because we cannot differentiate in terms of their colors much, in terms of the packaging. Usually farmers, when they sell these products, they just put it in the table just like that. Maybe if you are buying this product at the hypermarket like Aeon from the big mall, maybe there is a specific packagings used by the seller, okay, to differentiate the qualities of the products. Okay, maybe that one is no longer under the perfect competition. That one I can say maybe it is under monopolistic competitions. Something that have the elements of depreciation, okay, which means that the product is differentiated in terms of the quality, packaging, so on, but not for the context of perfect competitions, where the product is directly, for example, if you are the farmers, you have all these hasil, sawi, tanaman-tanaman, you want to sell, you directly take this product from your area of plantation and then you sell in the markets. You tak perlulah nak buat packaging and so on. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, if we look into the real world example, agriculture suit the best. Okay, agriculture products suit the best. Okay, okay, so besides tomatoes, we have examples of oranges, wheat, gandum, corn, okay, onions, plant, tree, crude oil, stock markets. Even stock market also can be falls under perfect competitions. But I think for you to easily understand or easily give the example, explain an example, you can state there agriculture product, and then you can relate with my explanation just now. Why agriculture product? Because it's hardly differentiate. So this is all the elements of homogeneous. Homogeneous means almost the same. Cannot be differentiated much. Okay, I think I have give you example. You should integrate in your head here. So when we talk about perfect condition, you can imagine the homogeneous product like agriculture products, like tomatoes, orange, and so on. This is very important because when we want to learn something, we have to get the pictures very clearly and relate to our surrounding. Okay, so learning economics is very fun if you can interact, when you can interrelated what we learn from the slide with the real things in the world. Okay, now let me go back to the slide. Sorry, I have to go back to my slide just now. Okay, now let's look to this next slide. Okay, I already explained about the homogeneous or standardized product. The buyers do not differentiate the products of one seller to another sellers. So in the eyes of the seller, everything is almost the same. That's why when we go to the pasar malam or pasar tani, any pasar hujung minggu, pasar peladangan, I don't know. There are so many types of pasar in Malaysia. But when you go to this pasar, okay, when you see all the sellers selling the sayur-sayuran, all these vegetables and so on, I mean, like, you cannot differentiate much because everything is almost the same. Okay, but perhaps you will choose to buy the product where the seller able to give you some kinds of discount where you can bargain that. But believe me, usually we don't bargain when we buy agriculture product like vegetable, because the price itself is already low. If you bargain, it's not good for the seller. Because the seller does not get much profit from selling vegetable. Okay, if you want to bargain, maybe you can bargain other agriculture products, such as like you want to buy for example udang, ikan udang, okay, where it is much more expensive. Okay, you can use the powers of bargaining power. Actually these types of product ataupun hasil-hasil daripada lautan juga sebenarnya adalah di bawah kategori homogeneous, tapi the price is slightly more expensive. Okay, ketam, udang sebagainya kan. So usually during my school life during the weekends pukul 4 pagi saya bangun, saya akan teman ibu saya untuk pergi ke pasar pagi pukul 4 pagi, because at that time the product is very fresh. Okay, and my mother is really have the ability to bargain. Okay, not only bargaining barang kemas tapi di pasar pun dia sangat pandai bargain So I just follow and listen and see how she bargain when she buy all this product. But again, as I mentioned, in terms of vegetable product, usually we don't bargain because it's already cheap. But when you buy ketam, udang, sotong, and so on, where it's much more expensive, you can use your bargaining power. Okay, this is a reality in the real life. Okay, but when we look into the theory just now, as I mentioned, the seller selling the product at the price market. Okay, because they are price taker. Okay, so they cannot set the price above the price market because what happened when they are selling the price of when they are selling their product at the above the market price? Because one thing that happened is that we assume in economics we assume that the rest of the customers will switch or will change or will perhaps buying the same product from other sellers because you are selling more expensive. So since the product is easily available, accessible in the market, in the same pasar tani and so on, so people will go away and will buy to other sellers. So that is the consequences if you are not following the price set by the market for agriculture products. Okay. All right. Now, there is a free of entry and exit into the market. This is based on the theory, okay, where the sellers can enter the market easily. But if we look into the real context of the world, if you want to sell your product in the pasar tani, you still have to apply for license. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as like free entry unless you are selling that products in front of your house. Okay, where you don't have the formality in terms of doing business. You don't have that business platform. You are selling as part-time, for example. Maybe that could be considered as free entry. In terms of exit, yes. If you feel that the business is no longer profitable because there are so many buyers selling the same products, you are anytime you can exist from the market. Okay, there's no much problems or barriers for you to exit the market. So this is another characteristics of perfect competitions. Now, the rules of the non-price competition is insignificant, which means that because we have the price factors, and this one is a non-price factors, so which means that the rest of the factors beside price is not significant in these types of markets. Okay, because they are competing really based on the price itself in order to which means that the price must be based on the market, or maybe if they want to compete further, maybe they can slightly reduce the price of the product below the market price. But again, if they are selling in the large quantity, they can gain profits. But if they are a small seller, and they try to compete in terms of the price, usually they are not going to win in that competitions. Okay, so that's why a smaller seller, they cannot simply reduce the price of the product. So usually they will sell at the market price. But for the bigger seller, those from the big companies, okay, who sell the agriculture products, they can play the price factor in order to win to these types of competitions. Okay, and next one, perfect knowledge of the market. All the sellers and buyers in the perfect competition market will have the perfect knowledge of that market. Okay, this is another assumption, which means that if seller A increase the price, you already know that you can have a better option by buying the same product at seller B or seller C. So that what we mean as having a perfect knowledge. You know everything. When the sellers reduce the price and the rest seller does not reduce the price, so you will go for this seller, okay, that reduce the price. So this is just assumptions, which means that, in other words, in reality, the seller is the buyer is really well updated in terms of the price of the products, okay, in the market, so that they can compare, they can compare before buying the products, and they know which place to find the product at the lower price. They know who are the seller. They know which seller selling lesser at the lesser price. So this is what we mean as perfect knowledge of the market. Okay. So eventually, this is actually part of the campaign made by the Malaysian government. In order to combat inflations, you need to be a smart buyer by comparing the price of the product between the seller, between the markets. Because then you can control the price, the inflations of the product. Because if you keep on supporting buying your product at this seller who charge higher, so this is actually lead to inflation. So okay, so I think this is related to part of what we learn, inflations. Yeah, so that's why we are choosing first, get the information first, and then make a decision to purchase the products. Okay, I'm going to drag a bit in terms of explanations on, because I have about 2 hours, and that the slide is not that much. In order to finish within 2 hours, I have to give you very detailed explanations. Okay, now we are moving to the next slide. Okay, so what I explained to you just now, when I tell you about how the price of the perfect quotation is determined, so actually this is the answer. If the question asks you how the price of the product under perfect quotation is determined, so the answer lies on these two diagrams. As I mentioned just now, the forces of demand and supply, which lead toward the price equilibrium, this price equilibrium will be the price set by the seller in the perfect competition markets. So in order for you to answer the questions, you need to draw two diagrams. First diagram is the market diagram, where you have to show the intersections between demand curve and supply curve, where it will lead toward the price of at equilibrium. In this example, I put it RM 10 ringgit. The price at equilibrium, yeah, at the quantity of equilibrium Q star here. Okay, and from the same price, from this same price equilibrium, you draw another diagrams, and then you put this horizontal line, which is in tally with this dotted lines, where now you put these equations. Price is equivalent to the marginal revenue, and marginal revenue is equivalent to average revenue. Okay, now we need to understand what this MR and AR referred to. Okay, so before that, okay, I want to recall back the price of the perfect competition is based on the forces of demand and supply, where the interactions of demand and supply will lead toward the price equilibrium, and this price of equilibrium is actually the price sell in the perfect competition, the price used by the seller when they are selling their product in the perfect competition markets. Okay, now let's allow me read this text. The price is determined by the intersections of the market supply curve and the market demand curve. So intersection itu adalah penggabungan, titik pertemuan dalam bahasa Melayu, pertemuan antara keluk demand, okay, keluk permintaan dan juga keluk penawaran. Itu dalam bahasa Melayu, ya. Keluk penawaran dan keluk permintaan. Jadi membentuk harga, ya, pada sudut equilibriumnya. Di sinilah RM10. Okay, so and here, since firms are price taker, they face a horizontal demand curve. Okay, jadi demand curve di sini adalah bersifat horizontal sebab dia selari dengan kita punya harga yang ditawarkan dari market equilibrium. Okay, disebabkan apa dia bersifat horizontal? Kerana harganya telah dimutamatkan, fix. So itu adalah punca kenapa the demand curve of the product also horizontal. Ataupun di sini kita refer kepada perfectly elastic. Okay, perfect elastic. Okay, sekarang kita recall apa tu perfect elastic. Perfect elastic means that a small change of the price will lead toward an infinity change toward your quantity demanded. Okay, maksudnya kalaulah seller tu jual harga produk tu tinggi sedikit daripada harga market price, akan berlakunya infinity change in the quantity demanded. Okay, so which is not good, sebab orang takkan beli kepada seller tersebut. People will stay kepada produk yang dijual pada market price. So ini adalah perfectly elastic. So antara sebab kenapa price is equivalent to marginal revenue dan juga average revenue, sebab price dia adalah fixed. Okay, jadi sebab tu dia adalah equivalent to one and another. So this slide itself is actually can be asked you in the forms of structured questions, a small structured questions, in terms of how the price is determined under perfect competition. So this is the answer. We have the two diagrams. You have to sketch down, you have to label the diagram, and you need to have this line tally with the dotted line. So we have this new price under the perfect competition, which is based on the intersection point between demand and supply under the price equilibrium market. Okay, now definitions and characteristics of the perfectly competitive markets, we continue. Tadi kita dah cakap pasal price. Now, homogeneous or standardized products. The buyers do not differentiate the product of one seller to another seller. As I mentioned, kalau agriculture products, if we are talking about agriculture products, we are not differentiate orang yang jual sawi dekat kedai A dengan kedai B. Because sawi is a sawi, sama je. We don't differentiate much. Selalunya sayur tu kelihatan segar. Begitulah. Melainkan kalau seller A sayurnya sangat segar, seller B, C dan D yang dijual pada tempat yang sama, di lokasi yang sama, berwarna kuning-kuningan, sudah tidak segar. Semestinya kalian tidak akan beli kepada sayur kepada peniaga tersebut. Tapi kita kat sini, kita tak compare dari segi kesegaran. Kita cakap pasal produk tu sendiri, which is almost the same. We cannot differentiate it. So the buyer do not differentiate the product of one seller to another seller. So under this definition, kita tak membahagikan. Kita tidak akan membedakan antara produk tersebut. So kita anggap semua purpose yang sama, harga pun dijual pada harga yang murah dan kita beli. Maknanya kita nak beli, kita beli. Okay. And then free of entry and exist, yang ini saya telah terangkan, free of entry and exist in the markets. Okay, and then okay, saya minta maaf yang ini pun saya dah terangkan. The role of the non-price competition is significant and perfect knowledge of the market. So now we look into the next slide. Okay, this one. Perfect maximization in the perfectly competitive firms. Okay, so under this part, kita akan belajar macam mana kita nak mendapatkan calculation untuk profit maximization di bawah perfect competitive firms. So basically there are two approach. One is total approach. The other one is, sorry bila saya tekan bawah dia jadi ke atas balik sebab tu saya repeat balik slide ni. Okay. Kita ada total approach, another one is marginal approach. Okay, this one. So sekarang ni kita akan lihat dulu kepada total approach. Okay, so now for total approach, what are the formula? The formula is by taking our total revenue minus with the total cost. So now let's see this table clearly. Let's see this table. We have the quantity per kg per day, starting from 0, and then it's increased to 10, increased to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. So now, from here, we can see there's an increase of the quantity per kg per day, from 0 to 70. Okay, in terms of the price, now, let's see here. The price is fixed at 10 ringgits. Or this is in Malaysia currency. So here, we already know that this is perfect competition market because the price is fixed at 10 ringgit. At any levels of quantity, it is sold at 10 ringgit. So this actually representing the perfect competition characteristics. So if you want to determine the types of market structure, given that you have learned all the types of market structure, including monopoly, perfectly competitive market, and so on, you just look into the figure displayed in the column 2 here, or the price of the product. So if the price is fixed, the answer is perfect competition. Okay, that is the second point to understand about the characteristics of perfect competition. Now, total revenue. So what is the formula for total revenue? You just simply take your price of the product times with quantity. So 10 times 0, you get 0. 10 times 10, you get hundreds. So please, if you can write somewhere, because I didn't give you a slide before the class, you can write in the notes. The formula for total revenue is P times Q, price times quantity, total revenue. So 0 here from the first line. Second one, 10 times 10 is hundreds. followed by 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Okay, so this is the calculation for total revenue. Okay, so total cost is given by the question itself. So assuming this is the total cost given by the questions, 60, 140, 210. Okay, logic, yeah. The total cost is increasing when your quantity per kg per day is increasing. Because of course, when you produce more, you involve with higher costs. So that's the logical behind the increasing numbers of total cost. Yeah. So here we have from 60, now they increase up to 800 ringgit when the quantity reach 70 units. So now how you can get the profit maximization level? You can get this by minus your total revenue with the total cost. So starting from this one, 0 minus 60, you get negative 60. So this is basically already the loss. Okay, negative. And then 100 minus 140, you got negative 40. So this is another loss. Okay, and then you proceed the below one, you got negative 10. And then you proceed below one, you got 10. And then you get another 10. And then it fall back to 0, it fall back to negative, and it fall to negative hundreds. So now, which point displaying the profit maximization for the perfectly competent firm? You have to choose the one that has the highest numbers of profits. Okay, so here we can see that the positive value fall between quantity of 30 and the quantity of 40, where both will give you a profit of 10. 10 here and 10 here, the red side and the blue side. So which point that you have to choose? Okay, the answer is choose the recent one, which is at the higher levels of quantity per day. You have to choose this one in order for you to state that this is the level that the company reached the profit maximization. Do not choose 30 because, as I mentioned just now, choose the one as at the latest one, okay, given at the highest amounts of profit if their value are the same between the two periods, between the two units. Okay, so that is important facts. So using the table, profit maximization is determined by scanning throughout the profit at each level, and the level which give the highest profit is the profit maximizing output. So the answer for this question is that in order for the company to reach a profit maximization under the total revenue approach, total revenue minus under the total approach, which you take total revenue minus total cost approach, you define that producing at the 40 kilogram per day will lead towards a profit maximization, given that your profit is equivalent to 10. Okay, so there are quite long descriptions of this table. You can only explain well when you understand one by one, and then you have to compile your understanding into one paragraph. Okay, just how I explained just now. Okay, bila kita dah betul-betul faham, kita boleh explain dengan jelas dan lancar. Jadi kena faham dulu setiap satu komponen ni, apa maksud dia dan sebagainya. Tak boleh hafal saja. You have to understand first. Okay, balik kepada slide seterusnya. Okay, so kita dah selesai. Untuk total approach, kita akan ambil jawapan dia adalah 40 unit per kg per day. Okay, sebab dia akan dapat menghasilkan profit sebanyak 10. Okay, now kita move kepada the second, no. This is the diagram. This is how the diagram will look like. When you plot down, you will get the diagram like this. So for this diagram, we have the total revenue and total cost as the y-axis. As for the x-axis, we have the quantity. So when you plot down, inilah dia. You plot down daripada titik merah ni dengan titik biru ni berdasarkan combination yang ada di sini. Combination yang ada titik merah dan titik biru. So di mana at one point, you can see that the total revenue is greater than total cost. So at this point, inilah period yang kita akan capai profit, keuntungan. Okay, tetapi satu masa, bila total cost berada di atas total revenue, kita mula mencatat kerugian. Okay, jadi untuk profit maximization, under this approach, you have to choose the one at the largest gap. Antara largest gap. Yang ini kalau you bayangkan ni perut perut kita, yang mana yang gap dia paling panjang, itulah kita punya titik profit maximization. So di tengah-tengah ini, sebab dia punya jarak dia paling luas, bukan di hujung sebelah kanan, bukan hujung sebelah kiri, sebab jarak dia akan jadi pendek dan kita rugi. Okay, so the TR curve is a straight line through the origin. The maximum profit is where the vertical differences is the highest. Okay, the vertical differences is at the highest. Boleh faham so far my explanation?
Ya, silakan Mas Mbak.
Okay, baik.
Ya.
Alright, using marginal approach is another way. Okay, now under marginal approach, marginal revenue we minus with marginal cost approach. Okay, now let's check the tables. Again, we have the same table, the quantity from 0 to 70. The price is also same because we are now talking about perfect competition. Okay, so the price is fixed at 10. Total revenue is similar to what we calculated before this. Now we have the additional information, which is marginal revenue and the marginal cost. So what do we mean by marginal revenue? Okay, when you come across with the word marginal, marginal is actually the addition. Okay, the additions with 1 units, okay, in this context, with 10 units of additions of quantity per kg per day, what will happen to your total revenue? With each 10 units of quantity per kg per day, assuming this is meat, meat, what is the additional revenue that you will earn? So that is the meanings of marginal revenue. So the formula for marginal revenue is by taking your, okay, for you to get this one, okay, the first line, you cannot put 0. Instead, you have to put dash because there's no information in the previous one. So this is the beginnings of your line, the 0 value. So the 0 minus with the previous facts. Since that there's no previous facts, that's why we have this dash point for the first line. Okay. Okay. For the second line, you take the 100 here. You minus with 0. And you take your 10 and then you minus with 0. So 100 minus with 10, you get 10. So you take the changes in total revenue over the changes in quantity. So that is the formula for marginal revenue. The changes between this form and the changes between this form. Okay. Again, let's check. 200 minus 100 over 20 over 20 minus 10. Again, you got this 140. And then you can also do from the next calculation. So you take the 200 minus 10 and then 20 minus 10, you will get 210. So this is, sorry. You got the all together, all the marginal revenue is equivalent to 10. I'm sorry, this is total cost. So every single line here is equivalent to 10 because the price is fixed. Because you see here, 200 minus 100 over 20 minus 10, you got 10. 300 minus 200 over 30 minus 20, you got 10. So in each levels of additional units of quantity with the same price, eventually you will get the same marginal revenue. So that's why price here 10 is equivalent to marginal revenue as what displayed in this table before, the diagram for this one. This one, nampak? Price is equivalent to marginal revenue. Yang this one sebab terbukti daripada graf ini. Okay. And then total cost ni kita assume diberi oleh soalan. Okay. And now how to get the marginal cost? Sama juga. When we are dealing with the marginal revenue, we take the present time minus with the previous year over the quantity. Okay. So the changes in quantity. Okay. So marginal cost kita ambil yang pertama sekali kenapa dash? Because 60 tolak dengan value sebelumnya. Dan value sebelumnya kita tidak tahu. Sebab tu the first line where the quantity is 0, kita punya marginal cost start from dash. Okay, but now we can calculate when we have another additional. So 140 minus 60, okay, 140 tolak 60 bahagi dengan 10 bahagi tolak dengan kosong. So you dapat 8 Okay, and then seterusnya you akan dapat 7, and then you akan dapat 8 again, and then you dapat 10, 11, 13, 17. Okay, so this one marginal cost, kita punya nilai dia akan berada dalam keadaan seperti inilah. Mula tinggi, rendah, lepas tu dia naik balik. Okay, this is the values for marginal cost. Okay, so untuk profit and loss, kita ambil total revenue, kita tolak total cost lah. So total revenue kita kosong, total cost kita negatif 60, so kita akan hutang sebanyak negatif 60. Itu adalah kita punya loss Followed by negatif 40, negatif 10, 10, 10, kosong, 30 dan 100. So here the profit maximizing output level is obtaining following the marginal revenue is equivalent to marginal cost rules. So daripada sini, when you see your marginal revenue equivalent to marginal cost, so this is the point of profit maximization. Ini jawapan yang terakhir. Okay, pastikan your total revenue, your marginal revenue 10 is equivalent to marginal revenue equivalent to marginal cost 10 over 10. So you dapat this one. Okay, you dapat the marginal approach punya profit maximizations. Okay, so kita sambung lagi untuk okay. 6 May. Okay. Alright. So now let's look this diagram. Okay. Tadi kalau kita recall balik, kita punya marginal revenue equivalent to price, equivalent to 10. So you nampak this line and also equivalent to AR So marginal cost kita ni adalah daripada kita punya total cost punya changes. Okay. So dia akan berbentuk seperti tanda right di sini Kalau you diberi marking oleh pensyarah you, tanda dia seperti itu, marginal cost So dia mula daripada nilai yang tinggi, lepas tu dia akan jatuh and then dia akan naik semula. Sebab tu kita dapat lihat daripada this one. Kita boleh dapat lihat shape tu daripada this one kalau you plot down. Okay. So this is the perfect competitive firms punya profit maximization. Diagram yang paling asas dia lah. So using the graph, total revenue is straight line through the origin. The maximum profit is where the vertical differences is the highest. So sebenarnya titik profit maximization kita adalah di titik tangency point di sini. Titik pertembungan kita antara marginal revenue dan juga marginal cost. So this is our perfect. Okay, kita punya titik perfect maximizations. Okay, so this is for the profit maximization under perfect competitive firms. Okay, now kita cuba lihat sebagai contoh profit maximization using the equation methods. So the demand function for the product sold by a perfect competitor is given as, okay, ini kena recall balik sebab kita ni ada calculation ringkas dalam chapter ni. So the quantity demand function kita adalah QD sama dengan 20 tolak P, 20 minus P. And then the marginal cost is MC sama dengan negatif 10 tambah 3Q. So now the question given by this slide here is calculate the profit maximization firms price and the quantity. So macam mana kita daripada maklumat yang ada di sini, kita nak calculate the profit maximizing price and quantity. So jawapan dia, okay, kita tengok sini Pertama, because we are talking about perfect competition, so you goes back to the rules. Rules kita yang utama adalah untuk mencapai profit maximization, we have to take our marginal revenue equivalent to marginal cost. So that is the first one. Kita kena follow this formula. Marginal revenue equivalent to marginal cost. So based on this information, now kita dah ada maklumat seperti yang ada di sini. QD dengan 20 tolak P and MC dengan negatif 10 tambah 3Q. So here kita akan ambil sama Q dengan 20 tolak P and then kita akan rearrange yang mana P adalah dengan 20 tolak Q. Kita rearrange rearrange. Manakala margin revenue kita adalah 20 tolak Q. Okay. So margin revenue kita adalah 20 tolak Q. Okay. So since in perfect competition, P is equivalent to MR equivalent to AR. Okay. So dia ada assumption tu menyebabkan kita dapatlah that nilai Jadi dalam kita teruskan, sebab apa tahu? Bila kita nak calculate kita punya perfect competitive profit maximization punya rules, kita kena tukarkan information kita kepada MR sama dengan MC. So ini adalah dia punya, this is actually the main profit maximization punya formula yang you kena ingat. MR sama dengan MC So this one MR kita dah dapat 20 tolak Q. So kita ganti teruslah. MC kita dapat tadi iaitu kita dah calculate semua kat dalam slide. Iaitu negatif 10 campur 3Q. So MC kita adalah seperti yang ada di sini. Negatif 10 campur 3Q ada dekat sini Kita salin saja. Dan when we have MC equivalent to MC, now kita pun ada nilai yang sama iaitu quantity. So kita boleh rearrange 20 tolak Q sama dengan negatif 10 tambah 3Q. So 20 tolak Q. So kita ambil negatif Q tolak dengan 3Q, kita dapat 4Q. Dan kita dapat 30 lepas kita tukarkan pemudaran tu. So Q kita adalah sama dengan 7.5. So this is how we calculate the profit maximization dengan mengambil kira kesannya kepada price dan juga kepada quantity. So once you got this information, you can substitute your price into this another one P sama dengan 20 tolak Q. So now you get price dengan 12.5. So ini adalah untuk profit maximization, the quantity, the evaluation methods. It's a simple one, but then sebenarnya lebih efektif kalau kita melukis sambil belajar, bukan baca statik macam ni. Tapi slide saya ni because in PDF file saya tak boleh tunjukkan pergerakan-pergerakan tersebut. Now we go to the roots of this topics, which is the short run perfect competitive firms. Now let's look the short run supply curve first. So what this diagram can indicate. So we have different price, assuming we have price of 5 and then 10, 20, and then kita juga ada marginal cost ini, dan kita juga ada average cost curve, untuk menentukan kita punya kedudukan profit lah. Profit tu bersifat perfect competition, bersifat apa kita nak tahu. Alright, so now based on this diagram, the figure shows the AC, average cost, and AVC and MC, average variable cost and marginal cost. These are the 5 different market price. The horizontal market demand curve at each price is shown. So kita realize itu bukti. So point is not considered a supply curve since that any levels the minimum of AVC, the firm would shut down its appearances and the quantile supply would be 0. So bukan semua line dekat sini kita assume dia sebagai supply curve lah. Kita ambil sebagian kecil saja yang menentukan parts tangency point tersebut. And then the portions of marginal cost curve which lies above the average variable cost curve is the family supply curve. And the supply curve of a competitive firm is the upward portions of marginal curve above the minimums of AVC and shown by the points B, C, D, and E. So kita ada banyak possible price daripada bawah sampai atas. So dan semestinya kita kena pastikan semuanya adalah intelli lah. Intelli. Right, so the supply curve di sini terbukti daripada garis yang ada di sini lah. Kita dah bentukkan tadi. Supply curve kita adalah this one. Dia tak ambil yang bengkok tu. Now let's look the profit maximization in the short run. Jadi dalam topik ni kita akan belajar 3 jenis profit yang boleh dicapai oleh perfect competition. Assuming that this perfect competition mereka dah ada kind of well established product yang menyebabkan orang beli tanpa was-was. Alright, so now kita lihat kepada this diagram. Kita ada 3 jenis profit yang kita kena belajar. Kita ada 3 types of profits. There are 3 types of profits that can be shown under the profit maximization. So the first one here is supernormal profits. So for you to sketch down the diagrams, I'm sorry because I'm using PDF file, not PowerPoint slide. Jadi tak boleh nampaklah pergerakan tu dari satu line ke satu line. Tapi it is good for you to have the PowerPoint slides that you can see the movements of the diagrams. How to sketch the diagram from one point to another point. I'm sorry that I cannot provide that because saya tak jumpa yang PowerPoint punya versions. Okay, now first one, perfect under this supernormal profits. So you have this line of price, and then you have the price is equivalent to 20, and then you have this horizontal line. Dan saya dah kata tadi, dalam perfect competitive market, kita punya price equivalent to margin revenue and also equivalent to AR. Okay, average revenue. So this is your punya tangency, this is your punya titik, bukan titik lah. So bila kita dah buat yang ni, the next one, kita punya marginal cost curve kita. So as I mentioned, marginal cost kita ni berbentuk tanda right dalam kertas ujian kan. So you have this one line, you make it like this. So now you have lengkap, you ada this black lines and then the yellow and this red line. Okay, yang paling lengkap lah at that point. Okay, sebelum kita masukkan satu lagi maklumat iaitu average total cost curve. So if you want to get the supernormal profit, or if you want to get a subnormal profit, or if you want to get a normal profit, it depends on where your ATC is located, where you put your ATC. Okay, so if you put at the higher levels of market price, eventually you will get the supernormal profits. If you put below the market price, you might gain subnormal profit. Or if you put at the tangency point from your marginal cost curve, basically that will be the okay, we have normal profits lah, normal, supernormal and subnormal. So that will be normal profits. Okay, so now let's first define one by one. Saya dah bagi gambaran lebih awal tadi. Kita nak tengok So in this context, okay, macam mana kita tahu kita dapat profit dekat sini? Sebab macam ni saya terangkan. Okay, when you sketch down the ATC here, okay, when you sketch down your ATC from the intersection point between your price sama dengan MR sama dengan AR with your MC, you lukis satu garis menuju kepada ATC punya line, kedudukan line. So memandangkan ATC kita berada di atas, you pun lukis satu garis menuju ke atas. Once it hit the ATC, you kena sambung lukis dan menuju ke arah price. So basically, okay, this area okay, adalah representing you punya total revenue. So from this, you naikkan ke atas, kena pada ATC line, and then daripada ATC line ni kita terus ke sebelah kiri lah kita punya price kat sini. So this actually the areas of total revenue. Okay, the whole box here. Kalau saya lukis di whiteboard, ini adalah area A, B, C, D. The whole box here is your total revenue. And which part is your total cost? Total cost is from this yellow line and below that. This is your total cost punya area. Okay. So, given that your total revenue punya area is greater than total revenue, total cost, sebab tu kita dapat profit. Okay, beza antara total revenue dan total cost ini adalah membentuk kita punya profit. Okay, so this is supernormal profit. By the way, this diagram is for supernormal profit. Okay, so tengok sini lah, the firm demand curve is horizontal at the price of 20, where AR sama MR. The marginal cost curve intersect the demand curve at point B. A quantity firm maximize its profit when MR equivalent to MC. So the profit maximization firms, the profit maximization price and output is P star and Q star. At output Q star, respectively, the firms will earn economic profit or supernormal profit equal to the area shared area. Okay, ini adalah area profit supernormal profit ataupun dipanggil sebagai area shaded. Okay, and the economic profit or supernormal profit is a profit earned by a competitive firm when total revenue is greater than total cost. Okay, so this is the scenario given to you untuk dapat profit. So kalau if you really want to understand about this class, I suggest you to draw the diagram. Okay, the diagram kena ingat marginal cost berbentuk tanda right, and then kita punya price sama dengan MR sama dengan AR. Okay, and then kita ada kedudukan ATC. So perfect competition, kalau di bawah kategori profit maximization, di bawah kategori profit maximization, kita kena naikkan kita punya ATC lah. Bukan berada di bawah, bukan berada di tengah. Okay, now we look into the second categories of perfect competitive, perfect maximizations in the short run. Dekat sini kita ada normal profit. Why? This time, your ATC is at the tangency point between your AC, between your MC, and price equivalent to MR equivalent to AR. So yang ini pula adalah untuk konteks kedua, what types of profit yang mana boleh dicapai oleh for this business lah. So dia boleh capai bila you punya ATC berada pada tangency point. Tangency point ni adalah kedudukan di yang paling bawah. Okay, pada kedudukan di antara price equivalent to MR equivalent AR dengan MC point. So jadi masuk dekat sini, you letak sini you akan kena MC kan. Yang ini adalah you punya total cost. Dekat blue line ni pula sama juga, yang warna orange ni dia akan menjadi total revenue. Okay, so sebab tu in this context total revenue is equivalent to the total cost. So you akan capai zero profit. You tak dapat apa profit pun based on this diagram. Okay, so no profits or break-even profit is necessary for the firm to stay in business. As quoted in Q2, the large firm at the break-even and earn normal money. Okay, the profit maximization firm and output is Scholar, respectively. The marginal cost curve intercept the demand curve point B. A competitive firm minimize as profit when MR dengan MC. Okay, so kataan kat sini doesn't mean that you can follow 100%. Ada cara yang lebih mudah untuk explain. Okay. But this is not hard. Dia tak susah. Nah, ini adalah kategori yang tiada sebarang keuntungan. Sebab dia normal profit. Okay. And last one adalah kategori yang merugikan lah. Okay. Yang ni dipanggil kategori subnormal profit. Sebab keuntungan dia kali ni macam subnormal profit ni dia ada keadaan di mana dia mencapai loss. Okay, dia mencapai kerugian, losses. So this diagram kita lukis sama, MC sama, price sama, cuma yang membezakan sekarang adalah ATC kita. ATC kita ni memang kita letak bawah, tapi kau boleh tinggikan sikit. Lepas tu kita letak satu family punya ruang. Silap-silap. Okay, so ATC kita ni kita kena letak betul-betul kat bawah. Okay, you have to put below because you want to showcase that now you got the losses. Why? Because from the intersection point between MC and ATC and P dengan MR dengan AR, you have to look where your ATC either above or at below. If it is below, then continue to have the dotted line up to this point. This is how you determine the loss. Okay, so bila dia kena dekat sini je, dia membentuk kita punya area untuk kita punya total cost. Okay, alright. So then perbezaan tu menunjukkan kita punya quantity of total, kita punya area of the total cost is greater than profit. Profit kat bawah ni, tapi cost kita tinggi ni. Sebab tu sekarang ni kita generate another one situation what we call as losses. Okay, so for this business dia tak capai keuntungan lah. Okay, so this is under the short run. So we have three types of profit: supernormal, normal, and losses. Okay, so you can make your own notes. Okay, untuk buat benda ni memang saya akan minta suruh saya buat notes, terangkan balik dan sebagainya guna mind mapping. Okay, so okay, and then kita kejap alright. So I really hope that despite I didn't write down using my laptop and so on, but you can understand the pictures, okay? Because this is the heart of the okay. This is for you to understand really in detail about the types of profit or loss for the perfect competitions. Okay, this is quite easy to understand and memorize. Okay, so kena tahu kedudukan ATC kat mana, situlah you akan halakan dia punya garis dia. Sebab walaupun you cuma ada MC, tapi you masih ada hak untuk tentukan you still have this orang kata follow rules Kalau ATC berada di bawah, you pun kena follow bawah. Kalau ATC berada di atas, you pun kena follow atas. So easy for you to understand in that way lah. Okay. Now, Prof, how many time left that we have? Okay. Saya cuba habiskan and then kita akan ada sesi soal jawab lah. Maybe saya perlukan lagi lebih kurang 15 minit kot untuk habiskan slide untuk short run Okay. Alright. So now under the short run, actually the firm can make a decision either to proceed or either to shut down their business. And of course, there are actually a few conditions that the firm have to follow if they want to shut down the company's operations. Okay, so under this diagram, kali ini, this time we have this a similar diagrams like this. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so here untuk kita mencapai this scenario shutdown price, kali ini kita akan pisahkanlah. Kita ada dua jenis cost di bawah total cost. Kita ada dua jenis cost, which is the total fixed cost and the total variable cost. For this situation, kita kena pisahkan line kita kepada dua jenis. Satu, kita ada ATC yang mewakili dan juga merangkumi fixed cost. Dan kita juga ada ABC yang mewakili variable cost. Sebab ini adalah dua komponen utama kepada kita punya total cost. Okay. So a firm will continue its operation even it is suffer losses. Okay. Ini fact nombor satu. Tapi dengan syarat. A firm can continue production until the price is equal to a minimum average variable cost. Okay. So maksudnya we can keep up producing the product even though we are facing loss. However, up to the point when when price is equal to the minimum average variable cost. Itu dia punya kondisi dia, condition dia. So at the price of RM5, for example here, okay, the losses incurred by the firm is equal to the fixed cost only. Okay, but if the price fall below RM5, the firm would incur more operating costs, losses than the fixed cost, and the firm must shut down. So the shutdown point is the point where the price is equal to the minimum ABC. Okay, so kalau price kita berada pada sudut minimum point kepada ABC kita, so itu adalah point yang kita dirasakan sesuai lah untuk kita shutdown. Okay, so of course there is another material that maybe you can understand better for the shutdown period, and maybe learning from the face to face is much more better lah daripada kita baca macam ni kan. Okay, so this is for the shutdown price. Okay, and then kita ada juga okay, yang ini macam tambahan for I think this is just a tambahan kot. Tak apalah. This one profit maximization in the long sorry. Okay. So this one perfect maximization in the profit realization in the short run. This is the last slide. The effects of the entry. So the price is determined by the intersections of the demand curve and the market demand curve. So kita dah faham. So bila entry maksudnya kemasukan pekerja lebih ramai kepada industri tersebut. So maksudnya bila ada lebih banyak seller, ada banyak lagi kita punya supply. So that is why we have supply curve shift to the right. Okay, supply curve shift to the right maksudnya demand kita kita bayangkan demand kita masih maintain, tapi supply kita makin ramai makin banyak. So demand shift to the right. So what happened? Okay, the ringgit also depreciate here 20 to 30. Okay, so the price is determined by the intersection of the market supply curve and the market demand curve. The economic profit attract newcomers to the industry. As a result, many firms will enter the market and this will lead to the increase in supply. Ini yang berlaku. Bila kita lihat profit commission tu ramai dapat banyak profit, lebih ramailah company lain yang nak cuba nasib jual produk yang sama. So jadi lambakan lah. Semua orang pun jual pada harga yang murah. So itu kesan kata efek pada entry lebihan entry. So the economic profit attract the newcomer to the industry. As the result, many firms will enter the market and this will lead to the increase in supply. So this is one thing. And the supply curve will shift to the right and market equilibrium. and the clearing market, price will fall to that one, RM15. Okay, so that is based on market. Untuk profit, yes, kita boleh capai profit untuk perfect competitions. Okay, walaupun ada dekat sini, yalah, ada sedikit adjustment dari segi diagram sini. Firm that earns supernormal profit in short run will only able to earn normal or zero profit in the long run due to entry of newcomers. Okay, ini satu fact lah. Okay, so kita dapat juga keadaan di mana kita capai profits. So the commodity firms 60 kgs of chicken and earns an economic profit shown by the share area. Okay, ini mungkin ada daripada diagram dia, saya tak perasan. Okay, so jadi this is the lesson untuk short run. Kita juga kena tahu 3 jenis types of profit. Tapi saya lupa nak bagi tahu lah, sebenarnya dekat long run, which is this one, the last one. Okay, untuk long run, sebabkan kita ada entry and exit, so that's the reason why for the company in the perfect competition, they will only achieve a subnormal, they will only achieve the subnormal profit in the long run. Okay, not the subnormal, not the normal, not the supernormal profits. They will only achieve losses. Sebab ciri-ciri entry to exit. So banyak sangat company akan join selling the same product like yours, end up you akan lose the competition. Okay, sebab homogeneous kan. Okay, terlalu ramai produk yang sama, lebih kurang sama and so on. So sebab tu in the long run, they can only achieve a subnormal profit. Yang mana kita punya ADC kita kali ni berada di bawah lah, berada di bawah. Menunjukkan kita punya ni akan menyusut lah. Okay, so kalau perfect competition in the short run, they can achieve 3 types of profit, which is supernormal, normal, and subnormal. But in the long run, they can only achieve the subnormal profits. Okay, sebab kerugian tu berpunca daripada entry and exit policy. Okay, for the perfect competitions, untuk memudahkan mereka senang berurusan jual beli sebagainya. Okay. So this is the last slide. I have finished explaining. Now I wish to open a discussion with all of you. If you have any question to ask or anything else to ask. Okay, I pass to the class. You can ask me any questions.
Oke, silakan adik-adik. Mungkin ada yang mau ditanyakan. Do you have any questions, brother and sister? The topic is the perfect competitions, both in short run analysis, especially in the short run and long run, but we focus in short run analysis. That the firm just only get the normal profit, because there are no the phenomena of exit and enter in the market. Oke, jadi kita tadi dari Pak Dr. Abdul Rahim itu menjelaskan tentang analisis persaingan sempurna pada jangka pendek, di mana perusahaan itu mendapatkan keuntungan normal. Keuntungan kalau jangka panjang mendapatkan keuntungan normal, kalau jangka pendek bisa mendapatkan keuntungan di atas normal, Jangka pendek itu bisa mendapatkan keuntungan di atas normal, tapi dalam jangka panjang itu hanya mendapatkan keuntungan normal saja. Karena apa? Karena ada kemungkinan ada perusahaan lain masuk ke pasar sehingga akan menurunkan keuntungan tersebut. Jadi itu, silakan kalau ada pertanyaan. You can see your questions by bahasa Indonesia or bahasa Inggris, up to you.
Ya, tidak ada masalah.
No problem. Ada?
I'm sorry because the topic sebenarnya lebih selesa kalau kita tulis kat whiteboard. In the diagram and so on. Jadi saya pula slide saya tu pula tak ada PowerPoint slide, jadi memang nampak sedikit statik lah sebab tak nampak pergerakan slide Tapi the best way memang belajar guna whiteboard. Baru terang dan jelas
Oke, udah bagus Pak Dr. Abdul Rahim, udah sangat sistematis materinya. Jadi itu kalau tidak ada mungkin sedikit saya memberikan ulasan. Jadi the topic today is the perfect competition in the short run, yeah. But in the short run, the firm have possibility to get the supernormal profit, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Normal. Besides, it's also can get the loss, yeah, in the short run, yeah. But in
Yeah.
the long run, just only get the normal profit, yeah.
Normal
In the long
profits,
run,
ya
normal
betul Prof.
profit,
Saya rasa saya macam tersilap lah tadi Prof. Saya tersebut
yeah,
subnormal ya, long run.
yeah,
Mungkin
yeah,
itu pada konteks yang slide inilah, tapi saya rasa sebenarnya ya betul cakap Prof. In the long run sebabkan free to enter and exist, akhirnya mereka cuma dapat normal profit, which mean that
yes,
there's no profit at all.
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes,
because of
yeah,
that saya minta maaf di situ saya tersalah dengan satu slide tadi. Okay,
yeah,
betul.
yeah. Oke,
Mhm.
baik. Saya kira kalau tidak ada pertanyaan bisa kita akhiri, ya. Thank you very
Okay.
much, ya, Mr. Dr. Abdul Rahim Ridwan,
Ya. Ya.
with your nice presentations, ya.
Ya. Thank you,
The
thank you.
topics of the perfect competition in the short run.
Okay.
Okay, we hope in the next time we can join
InsyaAllah.
in the other event, yeah. And we hope we can get the benefit from from this presentation.
Okay,
Baik, terima
okay.
kasih Pak Abdul Rahim.
Ya.
Saya kira cukup kita akhiri dengan bacaan Alhamdulillah.
Ya.
Alhamdulillahirabbil
Ya.
alamin. Thank you
Terima
very
kasih
much.
semua.
Okay,
Assalamualaikum.
thank you.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam katu.